A group of thugs dragged the unconscious Seong straight into a thatched hut planning to burn her alive. Just moments ago, Seong watched her grandmother get shot dead right in front of her. In that instant, she imagined 100 different ways the killer could die, but what she never expected was the brutal strike from a strong man that knocked Seong to the ground, leaving her with no signs of life. After the thugs realized Seong had stopped breathing, they did not bother to finish her with a shot to the head. Instead, they dragged her into the hut and prepared to burn it down. But as the fire grew stronger, the deeply unconscious Seong slowly woke up. What made it even more cruel was that her grandmother, who had been shot in the head, had already died at their hands. And that meant the orphan Seong, who had no parents since childhood, lost at that very moment the last person in the world who loved her more than life itself. But faced with such a devastating blow, Seong shockingly chose not to call the police, because she knew all too well that local law would only give the killers 3 years in prison, treating them like royalty with food and comfort. So the people who murdered her grandmother would not be properly punished, and would even be protected from revenge behind bars. Not to mention, her grandmother was killed simply for trying to stop their land grab, and they chose the most extreme way to silence her. So Seong made a bold decision to use her own way, to make every killer pay the highest possible price. And the driver among the killers still had no idea that death was silently closing in on them. When they saw the weapons inside the vehicle blown to pieces, the 4 killers finally realized how serious things had become, even more deadly. If the escaped Seong exposed their act of shooting the elderly woman, what awaited them would be total destruction. As the thugs were figuring out how to find Seong, she was hiding nearby watching their every move. She had been trained by her people since childhood to be a hunting weapon. As long as one of them was left alone, Seong would have her chance for ruthless revenge. Even if one of them quietly pulled out a sharp steel blade, she could still kill him in return with pure skill. When they saw their partner femoral artery brutally severed, everyone sucked in a breath of cold fear, because in this hellish place with no medical equipment, cutting the carotid artery in the neck would only cause a fast death. Only cutting the femoral artery in the thigh could make a killer experience extreme terror and pain before slowly dying. But just as Seong felt relieved by this, she suddenly remembered the endless abyss just ahead.